Hey, what's up, good people? How you doing? Welcome back to Stock Up with Larry Jones. Trying to live my best life, as they say. But listen, this one is going to be special. I'm going to talk about crypto. I'm going to talk about XRP, where I'm buying, and exactly how I'm buying and where I'm buying. But at the end of this video, let me get away from the water. At the end of this video, I interviewed Afro Man, guys. I absolutely interviewed Afro Man. They invited me to the house. He's not for everybody, but I interviewed him. I'm going to play that at the end of this because it's not all about finance. It's just about what's happening with him. He is a buyer of a crypto. And, Uncle Larry, he may be reaching out to Uncle Larry for some help, with his finances, but we'll see. We had an interesting conversation. So let's go right into the crypto portion of the video and we'll be back. Hey family, before I proceed to show you what I'm going to do, not suggesting that you do what I do, but what I'm going to do, I must show you where the saying sell in May and go away come from. Most people don't really understand it. Okay, the sell in May effect. The sell in May and go away refers to a historical trend where the 6-month period from May to October. Now remember that from May to October sees significantly lower returns compared to November through April. So it's saying that the second 6 months is seeing lower returns than the first 6 months. It doesn't mean that sell in May and come back at the end of May and everything is okay. It just means that you have a lower returns in the second 6 months. Follow? Okay. And so when you look at crypto, I put in here, does crypto usually dip along with the stock market? And the answer is yes. The cryptocurrency market experienced a major crash exactly 4 years ago in May of 2022. Why did I put that? Because that was a midterm year and you got to keep things in perspective 4 years ago. This period was marked by massive liquidations and the start of a deep crypto winter. Now, it's different now. We are already had a huge drawback. So everything is not 100%. And I know someone's going to say, yeah, but that was then, this is now. But this is how I make my money, by looking back and planning for the future. You could see right here, Bitcoin dropped approximately 20% during the month, falling. Why? We're getting to something, right? So I also put in, did XRP experience a crash or fall off? Yes, XRP experienced a significant drop 4 years ago in May, crashing approximately 50%. Am I saying it's going to happen now? No, I'm just saying that this is how I am moving. It shows you the 200 weekly exponential moving average, the EMA. All right. We know how to use that. Okay. So we're going to keep it going. All right. Sell in May, go away is a classic Wall Street suggestion that investors should divest from the stock market into May, in May, and return in November. Now, there's a lot to that. I want you guys to pay close attention. So we went over that. Right now, XRP at the time, this is Saturday when I'm shooting this, for the month is down by almost 2%. It kind of trended what I expected during the crypto conference, but not enough for me to start buying. So I did not buy any XRP, and I'm not starting my automatic buys, but I'm going to show you where I am, not suggesting that you follow me and not suggesting that this is 100%. So you cannot come back here and say, Larry said. No, I didn't. I'm just showing you my train of thought. And if you appreciate me doing this, leave me a comment. Okay. So let's go back to 2022 and let's look at Bitcoin. Look at this. This is the 1st of May, right? And then this is November. Why? By November, in the past 2 cycles, the fear was actually over, right? Look at here, from May to November, we had a drop. We had a drop in Bitcoin. You guys saw that over 50%, right? So now what is my purpose on making this video is to show you where opportunity is. So this would be actually a good time to start DCAing. Remember, I go in heavy early. Now, you don't start DCAing right here. If you don't start DCAing right here, what Larry is going to do is I'm going to DCA heavy in this time period. Okay? Why? From November to 2024, okay, we had a run. And that run was 352%. And that's on Bitcoin. So let's go back the period prior to that. Let's go back to 18, another 4 years, okay? Look at what happened on from May 1st of 2018 to, again, Friday. We had a pullback. But what happened was we actually started pulling back all the way from 2017. The same here. We started pulling back a year prior. See that? That's November of 2021. So the sell-off actually started. But why am I not addressing this? Because that's not where we are right now. So I'm just addressing where we are and where we could see opportunity. So what I'm saying is that Larry will have all of his DCAing heavy done by November. That's what I'm looking at. Same here. I'm going to have all of my DCAing in crypto done by November, maybe November 15th. Okay. Here we went all the way into November. It was okay to continue in 2018. And then in 2022, look at that, by January. So we went from November all the way to January. So November is my heavy DCA month, is what I'm saying. November is going to be my heavy dollar cost averaging month. Okay. And I may start before then, but that's going to be my heavy month. And if we look, the last cycle in 2022 in XRP, because here's where I'm going to be buying XRP heavy, because it did not sell off after the Bitcoin conference. It's still holding strong. It had a slight dip, but not enough for me. So we can see that with XRP, it's okay to start accumulating during May. You see this? And this is not 100%, but it was okay. And then XRP by November, what? It ran up 584%. So for my XRP accumulation, I'm going to start dollar cost averaging into XRP before I start dollar cost averaging back into Bitcoin. Follow? So let me know what you're going to do. Let me know if this makes any sense to you. But by November, I'm going to be pretty much done with my heavy. By the end of November, I'm going to be done with my heavy dollar cost averaging. Remember, this is my theory. My theory is I go in heavier, earlier, and then I decrease my dollar cost averaging by 2/3 by the end of November. So guys, now we're going to go right into Afro Man. I just want you to know that he's not anti-law enforcement and that the law did him wrong, right? Several sheriff deputies like literally tried to come after him for like $3.9 million. They raided his house in 2022. He made a string of songs that are hilarious. One called Lemon Pound Cake, and that one, Lemon Pound Cake, he's literally made about $400,000 off of that. And then another $500,000, so about $900,000 estimate. There's estimates all over the place. But he took a bad situation and he flipped it. He didn't get out of character. And he said he even talked to some of the cops, but they did him wrong. They stole $400, caused $20,000 worth of property damage. And, the whole thing is hilarious. If you go to YouTube and put in Afro Man, some of the stuff is absolutely hilarious. You just can't make this stuff up. But he is an investor in crypto. We talked about a few things off camera, but the interviewer before me, literally, she was just a snooze fest, and she was Bitcoin, 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 and he was a bit tired of the interviews and a little agitated, so I had to kind of bring a little life, so you'll see me kind of pumping him a little bit, but we actually talked a bit more after the cameras were off, and so here it is, guys. I'm just gonna play it. It's not for everybody, and I'm just gonna tell you, his music is not for it. Some of it is explicit, but this is the story. My team said, Larry, you just put it out there and let the people talk about what they want to talk about. But it is a pretty interesting story. So here it is, Afro Man. What's up, good people? How you doing? Welcome back to Stock Up with Larry Jones. Listen, this one's gonna be different. I know we talk about finance, crypto all of the time, but you guys know how I keep it real. Now, this is not a flag that's beside me. This is my man. This is Afro Man.
Yeah, the hungry, hustling American dream.
That's it. Hey. That's it. The hero of the hour. Look, freedom speech. If freedom speech had a face on it, it would be his. He'd be like, deuces.
Hey.
Yeah. What's up? Man, listen. People love a good story, but what I like about you as a melanin brother is the way you handle the situation. I never saw you out of character. I never saw you losing your cool. I just saw a man that was a thinker, right?
Yes, sir.
And I know you got the get up and everything. I said, this brother is super intelligent. And for you to pull off what you did, and for them to come after you the way they did, and for you to handle it the way you did, you made everybody proud.
Hopefully.
But, yeah. But I'm proud. I just want to say that right off the top. I'm like, you guys are missing the biggest part of the story. This dude is a genius, and so that's what we're about. So we here at the Bitcoin conference. I know you had a lot of Bitcoin questions. I can care less when I'm talking to Afro Man about Bitcoin.
All right.
So, man, what's going on with you next, like project-wise? Like what's life like for Afro Man?
Okay, just some more of it. Some more records is coming. I got a lot of records. I think I got almost like 15 or 20 albums that's been laying around over the years.
Yeah.
So, no freeloaders, everybody going to work. So
that's it.
I got albums I'm putting out. Lemon Pound Cakes is coming.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen, lemon pound cake.
Yeah.
We can't get enough of lemon pound cake.
Mama's lemon pound cake, man. It make the sheriff want to put down his gun and cut him a slice. Yeah.
What I love is like when Officer Pound Cake, you said something that really got me. And you said, I wasn't even mad at him. You was like, I felt sorry for him, but just like when a kid like touches the oven or do something wrong, you still gotta pay for that.
Yeah. You can shoot up people's family and then tell them, how much you're sorry at the courthouse.
Right.
And they'll forgive you, but you still gotta hop on down that hallway. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Yeah, you sorry, but come on, pull this sentence though. So
right.
I told one of the officers after the trial, he came up to me saying, he didn't have no hard feelings and this, that, and the other. I told him I didn't either. I told him if I saw him in Walmart, I didn't want to shoot it out or fight.
Right.
He's telling me how he was a Christian and everything. Mm-hmm. And everything's good, and I believe in Jesus. I'm not gonna go to hell hating him.
Right.
But I told him, I said, you wasn't a Christian when you was waddling your head.
Sure did.
Telling me you wasn't required to put my door up. I said you wasn't a Christian when you was flipping me off. I said, but I'm going to forgive you for not being a Christian. I said, just like you're going to have to forgive me for singing this song for the rest of your life.
You know,
hey, brother.
man.
Yeah. We're going to have to forgive each other, brother.
Right. But you still got to pay the price.
Hey, I'm singing this song.
That's it.
Amen.
The amount, I'm a musician too, you know, have a recording studio. And when this thing really started taking off, because like you struck lightning twice, which is insane. And when this whole thing came out, I really started like digging into like, okay, I remember this song. And then I'm like, oh my God, how many songs this dude's got?
Yeah.
And then you killing it with the views on YouTube.
Yeah, it's insane. We put up something the other day. We had about 50,000 like in 24 hours.
Insane.
I mean, you know, that's you know, that's good for me, you know.
Right.
Bruno Mars might look at that and be like, oh, I'm doing bad today. But I'm like,
you say I'm doing
man, what's happening?
Yeah. Well, so real estate is one of the things you wanted to get into. And I'm going to wrap it up because I know you got other interviews. We hanging out here at the crib. They were nice enough to invite me over. But man, the way that you handled the whole situation, and you and I know it was a money grab. Everybody saw it as clear as day, but then they wanted to silence you. And everybody was pulling for you because in some way we've all been somebody tried to shut us up.
They do that to the little man.
Yeah.
They thought I was a little man. I guess they didn't understand the whole world was watching them. So they done got in a routine of doing wrong.
Yeah.
To the point where they double down when they wrong. What they was telling me is, yeah, we wrong, and what you gonna do about it?
Right.
And they want to make it so bad to where I just fall back and leave them alone.
Right.
But all I did was sing about the pound cake. I was like, is that good? You know, like you raid my house with AR-15s and you get mad because I sing a song about you looking at the pound cake.
Think about that.
I'm like, well, I'm finna have some fun with y'all. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was a nice one. They didn't hear Randy Walters was a son of a bitch yet. They damn, what? Lick 'em low, Lisa?
Wow.
I was just cracking my knuckles.
But you know what? You got even. And this is what we still have to tell young people, black and white, but especially young hotheads when you get pulled over or whatever. First of all, your job is to get home. And he is an American story that is showing you use your brains. Use your brains, don't overreact. He took him to the bank. And that's what America is standing for. And they tried to silence you. And not only did you not get silenced, you got louder and getting paid.
Hey, when you learn how to make good out of a bad situation, you have a lifetime supply of raw materials.
There you go. You guys heard it from Afro Man himself. I know y'all gonna leave me some comments in the chat. You're gonna be like, Uncle Larry is hanging with Afro Man. You see it. It's real.
Man.
Yep.
I'm glad I couldn't get 1 million followers by myself.
Right.
I'm glad the Adams County Sheriff Department stopped by. Help the brother out. 3-4 days, 800,000 followers, man.
That's it.
Hey, cheers.
Cheers, man. It's good talking to you. The pledge has been mine.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, cheers.
All right. Live, love, laugh, and learn. All right, guys. I know this one is long, but let me know what you're doing with crypto. Let me know if you see an area where you are accumulating or dollar cost averaging, or are you already dollar cost averaging? Just let me know what you're doing as it pertains to crypto. And for those of you that know Afro Man, leave me a comment also.